And we're back here at PPR on in the AM. It's Kara. Welcome to the last hour of the show, but a special last hour of the show. I have some great guys with me. I have the Land of Oz members. Hey, guys.
Hey, what's up? Hey.
Nice to have you guys here.
Nice to be here. Yeah, we're glad to be here.
It's cool. Yeah. Okay, if we could just start by one-on-one, just say your names and what you do in the band so people can put a voice to your name.
Sure. Well, my name's Paul Beccari. I play bass, one of the founders, and move on. Go ahead, Matt.
I'm Matt Stanley. I'm 16, and I'm the lead guitar player.
And I'm Mike Stanley. I'm Matt's dad, and I also do some of the leads, but I'm primarily the rhythm guitar player.
Awesome. Okay, so if everyone doesn't know who Land of Oz is an Ozzy Osbourne tribute band. They will be here Saturday night, the 27th, at Penn's Peak, a show that you guys gotta come out for. But let's start this up. Okay, I guess we should start it out with how you guys got started, because this happened last year, am I right?
Yep. Yeah, this happened about 8 months ago. Since getting out of the last project I was in, I was looking around for something to do, and at the same time, Mike happened to realize that his son, who at the time was, I guess, 14 or 15, was actually getting incredibly good on guitar and loving Ozzy. So Mike, an old friend of mine, called me up and said, hey, would you be willing to put something together with my son and I and do an Ozzy show? And I said, you know what, I've got the perfect guy. This guy, Steve Desco, looks, sounds exactly like Ozzy by default. I mean, there's no gimmicks with him. He just goes out there, and he is our Ozzy, literally. He walks around, and I mean, sometimes we got to point him in the right direction. So we ended up getting together, and the rest is history. I mean, because I was dying to see what this kid was like. I saw some videos, and I'm thinking, how good could a 16-year-old kid be? Well, this kid blew my mind. He literally blew my mind. I just stopped playing, and I was like, okay, what? This is real. And I called Frank, who I know was on the show yesterday, and I said, Frank, I've got a project for you.
Wow.
And that's pretty much how it started. And it's all pretty much been some shows and a lot of rehearsing, and now we're just getting ready for a big summer for us, and hopefully this thing will start taking off.
That's awesome. Well, Matt, you are 16. I mean, 16, I was just attempting to get my driver's license. Did you get that yet?
I got my permit.
Oh, well, you're close. I mean, you have to be in, like, a different headspace than the other gentlemen in the band. Is it difficult for you at times?
Sometimes, but it's a lot of fun because I can't really think of, like, any other 16-year-old. It's like trying to do what I'm doing.
Definitely.
So it's a lot of fun.
That's well, if you're having fun, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
This also, Kara, is his first radio interview.
Is it?
Him in.
Awesome.
It's the first time.
Awesome. Well, what is it about Ozzy's music, but mostly the songs from Randy Rhoads, that brought a spark for each of you with that?
For me, it was just like learning to play guitar when I was younger. I think Randy was probably my biggest influence. So like
when you were younger, what, a year ago?
Yeah, well, it just made me want to play guitar more. And then I learned a lot of his stuff with Ozzy and some of his solo stuff, and it just got this started, and couldn't think of anything but to play.
How about the rest of you guys?
Go ahead, Mike.
For me, I grew up listening to Ozzy, and saw Ozzy live, and was always a big Ozzy, and in particular a Randy Rhoads fan. And I was heavily influenced by Randy Rhoads and his other players like Jakey Lee and Zach Wilde.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess through that, Matt kind of found Randy Rhoads, and I guess like the influence kind of transferred over to him. So it just seemed like a natural thing. We learned so much material. I don't know if Frank got into it with you yesterday, but really the way the band started on our end was one day I had come home from work, and Matt had downloaded the whole Diary of a Madman album and had learned it all that day.
Wow.
And I went downstairs. We have a nice like a recording and rehearsal room, and I went down into the room, and he said, "Dad, check this out." And he played the whole album for me from start to finish, note for note. And at that point, you know, I thought, oh my God, we've got to do something. You know, I can play. I'm still, I was still playing in a cover band at that point, and I thought, how many other guys have a kid that can do this? You know, and we're both into the same music, so that's when I made the call to Paul, and that kind of is where he picked up on the story earlier.
Yeah.
So, that's definitely mind blowing because Mike, I know that you're a Berkeley grad too. So as a Berkeley music grad, that had to blow your mind coming home to see that, right?
Oh yeah. It seemed like it got better every day, and at the time I was in another band. I would take Matt out, and he would sit in with our local band. And he was playing like Eruption and I'm the One by Van Halen, and we were doing Scorpion songs with dual leads, and every time he would come in, we'd get a standing ovation. So I knew we had to do something, take it to like the next level. So that's how we ended up here. So anyway, that's my story about Ozzy, Randy, and how this came to be.
And Paul, what about you?
I've always been I just love everything. I love everything from the Beatles to the 70s music to the 80s music. Everything that has to do with music. Sorry, but I don't like rap. I'm just not into it. But Ozzy touched me in the 80s and never forgot it. I mean, I went through a lot, like about 4 or 5 years of heavy Ozzy, and I just got away from it for a while. And when Mike brought up the Ozzy idea, I was like, I miss playing that stuff, and it kind of brought us back full circle to, how we were kind of living in the 80s, at that point,
Yeah. Well, do you guys remember your first rehearsal all together, specifically?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Like I said, I stopped playing, and I looked over, and I'm like, you're kidding me, right?
Yeah.
Because I couldn't believe that this kid was playing this stuff note for note.
Well,
we've got a heavy-duty band. We've got Tom on drums, Tom Stewart on drums. He's just amazing. He's a rock back there. We got Mike Vivio on keyboards, who's a mastermind of sequencing and just, just amazing sounds. And then, of course, Steve Desco, who is Ozzy. And then, and then you add the three of us, and you've got the Land of Oz. I mean, there's nothing that I can see, especially with a father and son team, that could pretty much come close to what we're doing. We try to do them like the records. We add a little bit of live inflections to get the crowd into it, but it's pretty much note for note like the record.
Yeah. Well, you were saying like such a lookalike on stage, but do you guys put your own personalities on stage also, or do you try to keep it going with that performance?
We tend to be ourselves. And like I said, Steve, I mean, he puts the glasses on, but he may wear an outfit or something like that, but he really, by default, looks like him. Mm-hmm. So really not a lot of hard work to make him look like Ozzy and sound like Ozzy. His voice tone just sounds just like him. So for us,
it's just his voice.
It is. He's got the voice that's, I can't explain it. And for each stage of Ozzy he went through, he changes his voice to make it sound like that, too. So each song has its own unique sound to it, and we try and recreate, just like Steve does on the vocal, the same sound that happens.
Yeah, and you don't see that a lot lately. What do you remember? What was your first show for the Land of Oz?
First show was the Sands Event Center. I'm not sure if I guess I can say that.
Yeah, you can.
We ended up getting that show. We ended up headlining for a movie premiere, and it was during a snowstorm. They didn't expect anybody to show up, and we had a few hundred people. Actually, it was more. It was probably about 400 people or so that showed up. And honestly, they weren't even expecting anybody because of the storm. So
that's great. That's fantastic.
We had a really good response, and we killed it too. We absolutely killed it.
Was that night like a moment where you were just like, okay, this is it. This is right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let me answer this one, Paul.
Go ahead.
there was a lot of discussion about Matt and playing, at 16 in a big venue in front of a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And there were several hundred people there. So it was, the stage is huge. It's like an 80-foot wide stage. It's a full concert environment. And that was the first time Matt had been out on a stage that big. And like I said, there was some talk, just kind of around, throughout the band, with people that we had talked before, before we had started working with Frank. And, there was people weren't sure if Matt was going to be able to handle, getting out and doing, being able to handle, like a world-class, guitar part.
Yeah.
And the pressure in front of a crowd. And there was a moment, probably 2 or 3 songs into the set, where Paul came over to me, and Matt was doing a solo in one of the songs, and he said, I was looking down, just kind of rocking out, doing my own thing, and he said, "Hey, take a look, something's happening." And Matt had walked up to the front of the stage and had his guitar up, his back arched, and was just wailing. And we both kind of looked at each other and we said, "Oh my God, look what's happening!" I mean, we saw him change in the course of probably 10 minutes into that set, and then he was kind of in command, the rest of the show, and ever since then, he's been as comfortable as anyone up there.
But Matt, how did you feel during your first performance?
For the very beginning of it, it was a little bit weird because I've never played anything that big, like on stage that big.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a little bit wary about it, but then a few songs in, I really started to get the hang of it, and I really started to get loose and connect with the crowd and do my thing.
Cool. Were you thinking I would say from the beginning, but how young you are, did you want to be in bands?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my dad has played in bands his whole life,
Mm-hmm.
and he's always played guitar, so I've always kind of been around that kind of atmosphere. So I've always really wanted to do something with the guitar, or play in a band or give lessons or something.
Awesome.
So this is really cool for me.
Great. Is there a favorite song among the band or for yourselves that you like to play each night?
For me, it's probably Tonight by Ozzy.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably my favorite song.
He kills the solo. The end solo is just, I've never seen anything like it. The end of that song, just put your eyes on this kid, and it'll blow your mind.
Yeah, that's an epic song, and an epic guitar solo in the end that Randy Rhoads did. And somehow Matt has channeled it to, it sounds exactly like the recording. And that's also my favorite song.
Yeah. Paul, what about
one of mine is maybe See You on the Other Side or Flying High. More of the commercial stuff. I love Diary of Madman. I like it all, really. It's really hard to pick. It's like kind of picking your favorite child,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just can't really do that.
Anybody listening out there who's going to be out to the show who's wondering what we're going to do, you're going to hear most of the Diary of the Madman album, including the song Diary of the Madman with the string parts and everything, which is, I don't think Ozzy even ever did that live. And,
I don't think so either.
That song is that's a very tough song to pull off, and I think we have a pretty good handle on it. We have a good time when we do it.
That means they need to come out this Saturday night to the Penn's Peak, the 27th. It's an experience that they're not going to get anymore.
Absolutely not. Don't forget, the Live Wire is celebrating their 15th anniversary this year of being a band. Come on out and celebrate with them. I would like to thank Frank Kelp, too, for his dire support and a wonderful agent, manager, and friend, and for putting all this together. I'd like to thank you guys, Penn's Peak Radio. Kara, you're awesome. And just come on out and see the show. You will have, I guarantee, if you don't have a good time, tell me, I'll give you your money.
There you go. I don't think I could have said it better myself. How can people find you? Social media?
With your Facebook, you can just look up The Land of Oz.
Okay. You guys got a website?
The Land of Oz, thelandofoz.com.
Okay.
And Oz is spelled with two Z's, so it's OZZ.com.
Awesome.
Thelandofoz.com. And the same thing on Facebook. I think we are the Land of Oz, or the Land of Oz.
Correct.
Yeah.
Great. Cool.
We're also on Instagram and Twitter.
Okay. You're everywhere.
Yeah, we're all over.
They can't get away from you. You guys actually sent me over a song that we're going to play later on the show that everyone has to stay tuned for. You may think it's Ozzy, but it's really them. You guys are recording demos?
We have a few demos, yes, and we have a few more songs to finish up as far as with demos, but this thing's taken such a road that we haven't had the chance to actually go back in and finish them yet, but we will.
Cool. So people have to stay tuned in for that also.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Excellent, yeah.
Again, this Saturday night at Penn's Peak, Land of Oz and Livewire coming out. It's going to be an insane show. And if you guys don't know these guys yet, you should, because they are going to blow up quickly, I have a feeling. It's just something that's going to happen.
You'll be hearing about it.
I hope we hear from you here also.
We will be back anytime you want, Kara.
That is
very much.
Cool.
Yes,
great. Well, thank you guys so much for talking with me today. It's been a blast. Last words for people to come out.
Just bring your excitement, because we are, and it's just going to be a great night. We're going to blow up the place. Not literally.
Yeah, if you're into Ozzy, the early 1980s Ozzy, we've got it captured. Between our singer and our lead guitar player, it's like seeing Ozzy and Randy. Once again, they really do an amazing job. There's a lot of times when I play that I think I'm playing in the band with Ozzy and Randy. So if listeners out there are into that era, and like I said, we do some of the older and the newer eras. You got to come out. Plus, we're with a great band, Livewire, that does an amazing AC/DC show.
Yep. That's it. I mean, they said it. There's nothing else. This Saturday night, June 27th, it's going to be a fan-freaking-tastic show with Land of Oz, Livewire at Penn's Peak. You do not want to miss it. Guys, thanks so much for chatting with me. It's been a blast. Seriously, anytime.
Thank you.
We got your song.
Have a great day.
You too. We got your song coming up later, so everyone's got to stay tuned. Enjoy. We're going to take a quick break.
Thank you.
And then we'll be back. Thanks, guys.
See you Saturday night. You're going to leave feeling good.